Welcome to Unlocking Your Truth, another podcast by Dr. Leslie Phillips.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Unlocking Your Truth with Dr. Leslie. My name is Dr. Leslie Phillips, and I am your host for this evening for the next hour. We're broadcasting live from CIVL on 101.7 FM. And you can also stream us live from the internet on civl.ca. So it's a talk show, and you can phone in and join in the conversation.
Can I do that too?
You can, Corey. This is let me introduce Corey, who is he's our producer for the show. And he's our show producer. And so if you're listening for the first time, then let me explain what the show is about. It's a talk show, and the theme is metaphysics and spirituality. So every week we have a different topic that we talk about in the realm of metaphysics and spirituality. And you can phone us up and join in the conversation. I'm going to read out the phone number that you can call us on. And the phone number to call us on is 604-851-6307. Once again, that's 604-851-6307. 6307. So we had a couple of things that we thought we'd talk to you about this evening. One of them was we went to see a really great film this week, didn't we, Corey?
Which one?
It was called The Power of Love.
Yeah, it was wonderful. It was a gentleman from Holland, actually, a compatriot from Holland, who just made this terrific movie about the heart and open-heartedness and how your life is just not there until you allow your heart to rule. It's phenomenal. I thought it was amazing. He's a lawyer, a young lawyer, and he gave up his law practice to create this movie. You know, he got a message. He said, "I got to create this movie. What's my purpose? What's my life purpose?" And what he got was a message saying, create a movie about the heart. It was wonderful. It was an amazing movie.
Yeah, it was a good story because, and his personal story, he was actually there at the showing, and he told us his personal story after the film was over. And he was a lawyer. He'd been to school to be a lawyer, and he was working as a lawyer. And he'd been offered this really big job in a big multinational law firm. And so he was in this dilemma because he knew that if he chose that direction for his life, that he would be working 7 days a week, all the hours that God sends, and he felt deep inside himself that wasn't the right thing for him. And so he went out. He watched Oprah interviewing Eckhart Tolle, and Eckhart Tolle was talking about how by going out in nature it really connects you with your higher self and helps bring you into the present moment. So this is what this lawyer did. He went out in nature and said, you know, what is my purpose? and waited to see what he heard.
Yeah, he asked for a sign. Give me a sign, any sign. I just want to, have you ever said that? I know I had. Just a sign, anything, and nothing came. And it started to rain, so he went underneath a place to get out of the rain, and all of a sudden he got a download. Make a movie.
Yeah, make a movie about the power of the heart. And he said, well, he heard it loud and clear, but how can I do that? Because I'm a lawyer. I don't know anything about making films.
He was right.
but he followed that intuition. He followed that message that he received, and he spent the next 5 years on a journey to make a film about the heart.
He interviewed some really amazing people. He even got Eckhart Tolle in the film, and a whole bunch of people from The Secret and things like that, and their interviews. But one of the people he interviewed was a gentleman from a research facility in California. And what they did, and this is how it ties into our show a little bit, what they did is they showed people pictures of positive images and negative images. And they monitored the brain and the heart. And what they found, the brain and the heart would react to these negative images or positive images. If it was a negative image, the heart rate would go down. And what they found was that the heart reacted before the eyes saw the image, seconds before, a few seconds before, as much as 20 seconds before the person actually saw the images. It was like 100% accurate. It was incredible.
It's called the Heart Math Institute, is the name of the scientific institute that does that research. And yeah, it's fascinating, isn't it, that they can measure kind of an intuitive impulse as it's happening. You know, that on some level that the person is registering information before, and it was randomly generated pictures that they were being shown.
Yeah, that was incredible. Yeah, nobody knew what was coming up next. Mm-hmm. No patterns.
Yeah, and he interviewed. So for an unknown lawyer from Holland, he got to interview Michael Beckwith and who else did he interview? Corey, can you remember?
Was Louise Hay on it?
No, I'm trying to remember. Maya Angelou.
Dr. Gray.
It was Maya Angelou's last interview before she passed away, and gosh, she had some words of wisdom.
Yeah,
didn't she?
And I can't remember the name of the lady that he interviewed from Rwanda. The one that was Tutsi and was being chased by the Tutsis.
Yeah, I can't remember her name either, but she spent 3 months living in a small bathroom
4x6
with 7 other women because they were trying to escape being hacked to death by machetes, because I think is it the Hutus and the Tutsis?
Yeah, the Hutus and the Tutsis.
Yeah, so one tribe was pitched against another, and they just went on a I think the president was overthrown, and then the new regime just went all out on a mission. Yeah, on a mission of genocide, and so she talks about what the journey that she went through when she was locked in that bathroom. You know, all the way to the depths of hatred and back out again.
And then what happened is afterward, I mean, these are people that she's known her whole life. They're trying to kill her. It's incredible. Like her teacher, her friends from school, people that she played with. And you know, the one main character, she ended up visiting him in jail and went there, and she ended up forgiving him in the jail. And it was an amazing story. Like she said, she had to forgive him. Otherwise her life would just be terrible. Her heart was just dying from this pain that she had. It was incredible.
So the film is about the intuition within the heart, and we did a show a few weeks ago all about the heart chakra and the intuitive aspects of the heart chakra. And one of them, if you listen to that show, is called Affinity, and the other one is called Oneness. And what Affinity is, let's go back to the story of this lawyer choosing his direction in life. So here he is, he's faced with the choice between going and doing this, becoming a big hotshot lawyer like the rest of the people in his family, or following this unknown path of creating a spiritually focused film. And he followed his heart to make that decision. And the intuitive aspect of the heart that is at play is called affinity. And so when you're faced with a choice like that, and if you turn within, if you turn to your heart, and you can tell this for yourself, the one that you feel enthusiastic about, the one that you feel propelled and towards, passionate, enthusiastic, like it just speaks to you, it magnetizes you. That's your affinity, and that's the right decision for you. That's the right course of action for you. That's your inner higher being telling you through your affinity which direction might be a good direction for you on your path. And if you feel unenthusiastic about something, then that's also a signal that that's not the right thing for you.
True.
And oneness, of course, is this aspect of the heart that relates to the interconnectedness of all things. The fact that we all come from the same source, and we're all part of that same source. Some people call it God, and some people have other words for it. But we're all part of that wholeness, of the great all that is.
That's what I liked about it. Was a very small group of people that was watching. This gentleman's going across Canada, and we were able to be in a very intimate place with them as far as the showing was, because there was about 30 people there. And what I came to realize is that this is actually a movement, an open heart movement that's going on, and he's in 80 countries now, and in many different languages, and it's incredible the action that he's gotten from a film that he knew nothing about. He knew nothing about making a film. He knew nothing about marketing a film. He didn't even know how he was going to go about meeting the people that he needed to interview for the film. It was just a wonderful story about becoming one with his life and his circumstances, and allowing the great the universe or whatever to download the information to him. Is phenomenal.
That's right. And so, and I think it's just a great example for everyone to listen to their heart. Now, one of the things I was sort of noticing the reaction of the people in the audience, and also some of the things he said. And I remember one of the things he said was that he felt that the film The Secret, which in a way this follows on the heels of a little bit, was limited and didn't give the full picture. And one of the things that he wanted to do was to give a wider perspective than the Secret. And I was watching some of the people afterwards, and it is a great film, and I recommend that you go and see it. But they were all now convinced the answer is the heart. The answer is the heart. We all need to go to our hearts and tune into our hearts and listen to our hearts, and the intuition is in the heart, and everything is in the heart. And that's the danger of some of these things, isn't it? They get turned into a kind of like a perfect expectation and the perfect answer. And of course, again, it's just another piece of the entire answer, because the intuition isn't only in the heart. The intuition, if you listen to this show on a regular basis, then you know that it is in many places, and there are many different ways of channeling your intuition. And of course, one of the dangers, if we all just focus only on our hearts, is that we end up all merging together. And that's not the purpose of life on Earth. I mean, we are all one and we are all part of the oneness, but one of the reasons for being here is to project out an individual consciousness and to have that experience of being from a unique perspective as an individual consciousness. And so I think all of these things need to be kept in perspective. So I think we might go for a break now, unless you've got anything else you want to tell the listeners about that movie, Corey.
Well, actually, one thing I learned that I didn't know, I mean, I've heard I'm sure listeners have heard the adage as well, that the longest journey you'll ever make is from your mind, from your brain to your heart. And I mean, I've heard it many times, I've used it many times, but it's actually a Sioux saying that I didn't realize that it's a First Nations people saying. It's people saying, and it's what a wonderful. Again, it's a place you want to go. It's nice to get out of the heart. It's out of the head for a change, and into your heart. I mean, that's where a lot of your personal revelation will come. You think it's coming into your head, but it's not. It's coming through your heart. And if you open your heart, many, many wonderful things will happen. If you open your mind, many, many wonderful things will happen as well.
Yeah, and I like personally having a balance between the head and the heart. What I mean by the head is not the intellect. I mean, I'm talking about the third eye or the brow chakra or the sixth chakra, because that is a center of great clarity and a place where you can be neutral and see the truth from a non-judgmental perspective. And so I think it's a good idea to have a balance between your neutrality and your clarity and your affinity in your heart.
So here's a short one from Dot. And Dot wants to know, will he return to me?
Gosh. Well, that's asking me to predict the future right there, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
You know, about 30% of the questions I get are about relationships. And a lot of them are like that, actually. A broken relationship, wanting to know if it's going to be resumed or not. All right, so Dot, I'm just going to tune into your energy. And if you're listening for the first time, listeners, I'm going into a very light self-induced trance. Just so that I can look at this lady's energy and her question about her relationship. Well, you know, funnily enough, I'm seeing something that wasn't what I was expecting to see. And that is, do you know what? If I was a betting woman, which actually I'm not really, but I would say yes. Because when I look at your energy right now, Dot, I'm still seeing this person's energy very strongly connected with you. And you don't give us any information about what went down, what happened, and why you're not together anymore. But I'm seeing that this person feels quite sorry. So, you know, for whatever they did or said, it looks to me like they feel very sorry about it and really, you know, want to be, you know, forgiven, but also want things to change a little bit as well. So it looks to me like the odds are in your favor of this relationship resuming and continuing, but it looks also like there's a need for the two of you to really have a really good heart-to-heart and talk about what's been working for you and what wasn't working for you, and what you need to change, what you can agree to change so that the relationship is meeting everybody's needs in a better way than it was doing before. So, great. Looks good to me.
Yeah, and just stop worrying about whether he's coming back and open up your heart and send out heart energy. Wonderful love and energy towards them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just keep sending out that positive stuff. Okay, I have a question from Gwen. And Gwen wants to know, why am I still blocking my progress and not letting go of the past?
Okay. So I'm going to tune into Gwen now. Let go of Dot and tune into Gwen. So she said, why is she holding on to the past, and why does she keep...
What she wants to know is, why am I still blocking my progress and not letting go of the past?
Aha. Well, one of the things that you do, and it's evident from the question, is really judge yourself and have expectations of yourself. So let's take a look. For some reason, that question's going right through my head. So why does she keep holding on to the past, and why does she keep blocking herself?
Yeah, her progress.
Her progress. Well, fear. It looks like you're in inverted commas blocking your progress because you're afraid. You're afraid of moving forward in your life. You're afraid of failure. You're afraid of change. And so for you, the obstacle that you need to work on overcoming is to let go of your fear. That question's gone right out my head again. That's so funny, isn't it? So why do I keep blocking my progress, and why am I focused on the past?
Why am I staying in the past?
Why am I staying in the past? Okay. So let's look at the why am I staying in the past part. Well, to me, it looks like there's a little bit of staying in the past, but most of it is just that being really scared, being really afraid. And I suppose how that links into the past is, well, why are you scared? And, I'm seeing that ultimately, as most of these questions do, we go to your childhood for some information about that, and I'm seeing, actually what I'm seeing pictures of is sort of like being punished as a child for being creative. And it looks like in a classroom, it looks like you might have had a teacher, a male teacher, who was a bit of a bully. And so, when you tried to be creative, ingenious, inventive, give answers and come up with ideas, it looks like sometimes you weren't praised or encouraged or validated, that you were actually punished and made to feel small. And so it's like you've got that relationship with that person hardwired into your system. And so that's the piece in your past that's really important for you to release and let go of, because it looks like that programmed you to feel afraid of moving forward. So that would be the answer for that lady.
Okay, on to the next one then.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what else has come in. Oh, here's a really good one from Lacey. And Lacey wants to know, how do I know if I'm ready for retirement? Should I wait a few months before I retire, or will I be okay if I retire this month?
Okay, well, it looks really bright and in alignment to just retire. Why wait? It looks like, it looks fun. And it actually looks like you're quite enthusiastic about the change and all of the things that all the time that's going to be freed up and all of the things that you're going to be able to do with that time. Why are you laughing?
Sorry. We don't know how much time we truly have on our own until we retire. And then, speaking from experience, there's never enough time once you've retired. Sorry.
No, that's okay. So let me see if there's anything else to tell you about your question. Can you remind me her name again?
Her name is Lacey.
Yeah, I'm just seeing that you, the spiritual being, can't wait and is really enthusiastic about it and has a lot planned. And I think the only thing that was holding you back is sort of just feeling like you have a commitment for a certain length of time and other people relying on you and being responsible and making sure everything's left in good shape and everyone's trained up before you go. But I'm saying you don't have to worry, just go for it.
Oh, wonderful. There you go, Lacey. And I have a question from Maureen. And I think Maureen may be a student here. And Maureen wants to know, am I going to obtain the student visa for my master? Master's degree.
I guess it changes the meaning of the sentence,
sure
doesn't it? Okay, let's take a look. Yeah. Anyway, and you know what? The funny thing is, I don't do future time predictions, and I just did, didn't I? Except I don't, because I think that's an old question, and when I look at it, she did receive it.
Yeah, it came in a little while back, yeah.
Do we have any more questions waiting, Corey?
Yes, we do. By the way, listeners, just so you know, if you send us an email question, we always change your name on the email. We don't use your name on live on air. So the questions that you hear are real questions, but the name is not the person who sends it in.
Yeah, and actually when you phone up, you can give a false name as well. You don't have to give your real name.
Okay. So I have a question from Lauren. And Lauren would like to know what needs to shift for me to find the right romantic relationship.
Alrighty, let's take a look, Lauren. Let's take a look at what needs to shift for you to find the right romantic relationship. Well, number one, believing that there is a right romantic relationship in the first place. And, that sounds like a funny thing to say, but what I mean by that is letting go of perfect ideals and expectations about what the perfect mate is like. Because the more expectations and, that you have, the narrower the net that the universe can cast. And also the less likely anyone that you meet will live up to those expectations. So it's really good just to have an open heart and let go of expectations. So that's the first thing I want to say. And let's take a look. No, I feel we must have quite a lot of listeners tonight, Corey, because I can feel all the energy.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, the energy is different in here tonight,
isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting.
No, it's affecting my it's affecting my psychic senses. I can feel a lot of interesting energy.
Yeah, we actually broadcast out of the Student Union here at the CIVL. I wonder if that has something to do with it tonight. Maybe there's a lot of angst going on, or something going on within the building itself, or the university.
I don't know, but it's definitely weird.
Oh, you know what it could be? Could be the blood moon.
Well, maybe.
Yeah. There's a blood moon out, folks, which is supposed to be spectacular.
Well, that was the last night, I think, or the night before.
Yeah, but
and
still.
And it was the eclipse.
Yeah.
It was a full moon with the eclipse.
Yeah, but still a full moon, or fullish moon. And, or Mercury's back in retrograde, I don't know.
Well, it has been in retrograde.
Yeah, I know. Tell my telephone, tell my computer, tell the soup bowl that just sort of slid off the table at lunch the other day without any urging.
Yeah, so once again, and it's so funny, folks, because if you're a regular listener, I never have to be going, what was the question again? What was the person's name again? And I'm doing it like with everyone tonight, so it is a bit weird. I think I'm just going to take a moment to just help the energy. And listeners, you know what? I'm going to teach you all how to ground, and I'm going to teach you all how to manage the energy in your environment a little bit, and that might help us on the show. So, first thing is, close your eyes and tune into you, and tune in to an energy center that exists near the base of your spine. And then start to create a flow of energy that goes from near the base of your spine to the center of the earth. So just do that now. Create a flow of energy from near the base of your spine to the center of the earth. Allow it to flow through your chair, the room, the floor, the foundations of the room, and let it flow all the way to the center of the earth. And there's a couple of reasons for doing this. One, you are a high vibration, eternal being of love and light. And your body is made of much denser energy, and this is the way to bring your energy in and through your body. And it also gives you a conduit for releasing foreign energy. And what we're also going to do is just imagine that you have this beautiful gold waterfall that's flowing through your entire room and washing away any negative energy and making the place where you're staying in really safe for you. So you've got this beautiful gold waterfall of energy flowing from infinity, flowing through your home or your classroom or wherever you are, flowing through the room that you're in. Just gold energy all around you, and just let that gold energy also find its way to the center of the earth. All right, well, it's feeling a bit better to me. Is it feeling a bit better to you, Corey?
Yeah,
it made a difference.
You know, interesting though. I usually when I do my grounding like that, I usually get a yellowish color. It's like a waterfall, a small waterfall for me. But this time it was like a spiral. And you know when you used to color with crayons when you were a kid, how that wax is you never get a deep color. It's always sort of like a little off. Yep. Well, that's the color. I had a red color that looked like crayon tonight.
Yeah, I was just going to say it's red.
Yeah.
I can see that it's red.
Sure.
Yeah, it was. Do you doubt me?
Oh, not at all. Not in the least little bit.
Yeah, so, you know...
But it wasn't even red. It was like crayon.
Well, I was,
over yellow.
Yeah.
Well,
and you know, folks, that brings us to an interesting topic that some people, you know, when they first start out on their spiritual journey and they start reading and going to classes and stuff, and they start to learn about the chakras and energy and the aura, you know, believe that, you know, there's a certain way that things are supposed to be. You know, like my first chakra is supposed to be red, and my second chakra is supposed to be orange. And if it isn't red and it isn't orange, then there's something wrong. And of course, it's not true, because you are changing all the time. Your energy is changing all the time. And you're running different frequencies of energy through different parts of your system all the time. So your grounding can one day be yellow, and another day it can be red, and another day it can be purple. And that goes for every other part of your energy system as well. I mean, have you ever seen those creatures called cuttlefish? Have you seen cuttlefish, Corey?
Yep.
You know, they're these sort of sea creatures, and you get them on nature programs, and they are like a kaleidoscope of colours on the surface of their skin, like beautiful little lights changing all the time, all over them. That's kind of like what you look like, you know, to the eyes of a clairvoyant. Lights that are constantly changing, different coloured lights that are in motion and shifting and changing.
I have a question from Jillian, now that we've done our grounding. And Jillian asks, is it Jillian? Yeah, Jillian. I have been battling Lyme disease and going through bankruptcy at the same time. It's hard to keep up with the optimism. But most important thing is my health. But help on either is appreciated.
Okay. Well, let's take a look and see what comes up for you. Interesting. So, your energy is quite interesting, Gillian. Give me a moment while I look at it. Well, on the finances, it really looks to me it's a matter of shifting some belief structures. You know, let's use the words financial blueprint. You kind of have a financial blueprint which is constructed of your beliefs around money. And depending on the balance of beliefs that you have around money, you know, I love money, it flows to me through me easily, and I have fun with all the money that I have, versus, oh, you have to work hard for your money, and people like me, we can only earn so much money, and, you know, rich people are horrible and so I'm seeing that by working with your belief structure around money in your internal environment, you can change your external environment. Because I'm seeing that you are a good manifester, and you're quite capable and powerful of creating more abundance for yourself. But there's a limit. And the limit, it's interesting, the limit is, it actually is in your first chakra. That's the energy center that we were all just grounding from, and it's the one that relates to your connection with physical reality. And I'm seeing that there's just below that energy center, there's a limit that's preventing you from connecting all that you truly believe about abundance and money. It's preventing you bringing it all the way through into physical reality. And part of it looks like, if I was to, I wonder if you grew up in a family where there were with brothers and sisters, or at least one sibling, where everyone had to have the same, and it wasn't okay for people to be different, and it wasn't okay for one to have more than another. Because I'm seeing that there's a belief structure like that you're holding on to, that, well, I can't have more than my peer group, or the other people I know, or the other people in my life. That the rules are that we're all supposed to be the same. And so I'm seeing that, like, getting rid of that concept would be beneficial for you. And there are other concepts there. So just do a little exercise with yourself. Take a sheet of paper and write down, these are the things that I believe about money, and sit quietly and just examine your belief structures. And after you've written them all down, take a look and see which ones are benefiting you and which ones aren't. And once you're conscious of them, catch yourself and let go of the ones that are not supporting what you're wanting to create for yourself. All right, let's see if anything comes up about the health issue. Lyme's disease. Well, I don't really consciously know anything about Lyme's disease, but what I'm seeing energetically is it's like things getting under your skin, being irritated. It's like wanting to pull your skin off almost. It's and actually the focus that I'm seeing is around the head. And so again, we might be looking at some thoughts. Let's see. It looks like you're in battle with yourself against the aspects of yourself that you're in judgment of. So it looks like there are things about yourself that you accept and are okay, and then there's a bunch of things about yourself that you're not happy with, you judge, and it looks like that's the thing that's causing the Lyme disease on a belief level is your self-judgment, your irritation at what you're perceiving about yourself, because I'm seeing that what you're judging isn't even true. It's just a perception that you are holding about yourself, that for some reason you feel that that's the way it is and it can't be changed and you can't get rid of it. So it's almost like you're battling yourself under your own skin. So I would say that the answer on the health issue to transforming that has to do with loving yourself. I mean, we started the show talking about opening the heart, and I would say, self-acceptance. Love yourself, every aspect of yourself. I think we've got time for one more question.
We do. Just a little add-on to that. Just to remember, like when you talk about most people that will send us messages here will believe in manifestation. So just remember what you're thinking, you will manifest. And that holds true with bankruptcy. I mean, if you've got a problem around money, well, it's going to, or you have a negative attitude towards it, you will manifest it. Okay, I have one more. Oh, it's a relationship question.
We've got a lot of those this evening.
Yeah. I separated from my wife 2 years ago and went through a painful transformation. I met a new woman who I have feelings for, but I'm unsure if they are reciprocated. Should I work on it further or let go?
Is there a name?
Ben.
Okay, let's tune into the energy of this gentleman and this new lady. Well, I'm seeing some potential here, Ben. I can see that you have you have a lot of affinity for this woman. Might we even say love for this woman? And your heart is open to her, and your concern is you're filtering it through the past and the fact that you had a breakdown in your previous marriage, and you're being cautious and wanting to protect yourself from having to experience pain again. But you know what? The best way to transform pain is not to close your heart down, it's to open your heart up wider. So, and then when I look at this lady that you're talking about, let me look at her. Well, it looks to me like she enjoys your company and she has fun when she's with you, and that there is the potential for the two of you to create a fun and happy relationship with one another. So, if I was you, I'd take a chance. I'd open your heart. I'd give it a go. And just remember, the answer when you've experienced pain is not to close your heart down. It's to open your heart wider. Wouldn't you agree, Corey?
Yeah, and that sort of brings us full round to where we started from.
Yeah, opening the heart. You know, one of the stories, just talking about another film, one of the stories that I really feel is a story about the opening of the heart is A Long Walk to Freedom, the film about Nelson Mandela's life story. Because I just remember, you know, he after all the troubles he went through and all the battles he went through and all the years in prison, at the end of it, I remember that they were talking about ending apartheid, and they were potentially using Mandela as a symbol to hang it all on, you know, bring him out of prison. And the people that he was in prison with and the people in the ANC were wanting him not to engage in talks with the, I guess what was then the ruling party. And because they weren't in a place of forgiveness, they couldn't forgive. But he forgave. He forgave, and he opened his heart to change and to love and to acceptance of everybody at the end of the film. That's another really good film to watch for sort of tuning into aspects of the heart and growth of the heart. Can you think of any other films that were to do with the heart?
Nothing like putting me on the spot.
I know.
Well, the only film that comes to me is Batman, you know, who forgives us. No. It's tough, you know. Like it's people. You know, when you talk about forgiveness, it's very interesting. We went to a little do a few weeks ago, and there was somebody there who lost their son years back, 18 years ago or something. I forget how long ago it was, and the pain around this person was how do I tackable? You could almost touch the pain around this individual, and then someone said, "Well, what you need to do is forgive." You know, there was a drunk driver who had killed her son and didn't go to jail. And she said he should go to jail. And most people look at her and say, well, forgive and let it go. And she said, I have forgiven. But there's a big difference between forgiving and forgetting. I agree. But she's done neither. And it's so sad to see the suffering that she's going through.
Thank you for joining us. You've been listening to another Unlocking Your Truth podcast by Dr. Leslie Phillips. For more information, go to our website at drlesleyphillips.com. That's drlesleyphillips.com. where you can ask questions or send her an email, and there's many free gifts on there for you as well. Come back again.